Just let me know if you can't, and that you can also see the presentation. My name is Hugues Kamp. I'm working in AXA Golf. AXA Golf now becoming GIG Golf, and I'm happy to join this session where I will be discussing about how to deliver business value for insurance when it comes to data, including data quality, analytics, and compliance. If everything is okay, I'll just move forward on the next slide. So I'm working for AXA Golf. AXA's purpose globally is to act for human progress by protecting what matters. And in the Gulf region, we have been present for over 70 years. And we're offering a wide range of products and services for corporates, for SMEs, for individuals, as a multi-lined one-stop shop insurer. AXA in the Gulf specifically is also one of the largest international players covering UAE, Bahrain, Oman, and Qatar markets. Recently, this past year, AXA's operations in the Gulf region were acquired by Gulf Insurance Group, one of the top 10 most valuable companies according to Forbes Middle East. This now makes us a top 3 player in the GCC and the number 1 regional multi-liner insurer present in 13 markets all over the Middle East. What I will cover today goes from discussing about the strategy when it comes to building data projects, delivering data projects, data quality and data culture, joining a previous presentation, leveraging on the cloud to deliver more value on data. And finally, we will discuss about information security and compliance for all the cloud topics. If everything's okay, I'll just move to the next one, defining the strategy. When it comes to data analytics, to data insight, it's very important to not start with technology and to start with a business case, to start with a vision, to start with an objective that we want to achieve. Usually companies, they are on the far left. I mean, old companies like AXA Golf, they are usually on the far left. They are working on optimizing the cost and rationalizing the teams, or they are working on staff productivity. This is what we call internal efficiency. We went through this phase in the early 2000s. And now AXA Golf becoming GIG Golf is focusing on the business value. There are 2 steps to be able to deliver business value. One is business and IT operational excellence, where we reinforce the processes, internal processes, external processes. We review the time taken for each of them and the optimization. However, there is another side that is business innovation and digital agility. This is what we call the end game. And this is where we are trying to go as a company. And to move in that direction, we have a clear mandate from our leaders when it comes to data. It's to invest on data as an asset in order to enable business innovation and digital agility. So what does it mean concretely? It means that data shall be considered as a key asset for our company, for the employees, to make better and timely decisions. It also means that we need to invest in governance to make data accessible for business users so that they can process, they can analyze, and they can act on insights derived from the data. Finally, it also means that we need to enable all the business users, not only the technical, the IT team, but all the business users to build new, modern data solutions so that it will help them to increase AXA Golf's competitiveness. This includes anything from building business intelligence solutions to complex machine learning and artificial intelligence model. One of the use cases that we had, and this is related to the second part, this is related to the data quality, was to enable, to review and enable our customer journey online. You know that when the usual channels for people to go and purchase policies are brokers or call centers, shops, but we also have the online channels. And when we use our portals, axagolf.com, you have the possibility to key your information one by one, name, surname, date of birth, emirate ID, vehicle and driver details. And sometimes this is error prone. So when we key the information, we enter in the system, we might have some gaps between the real information on the scanned document and the information that were keyed. This is why we decided to introduce a very important element in our landscape, that is improving data from the capture using artificial intelligence. Actually, it's a machine learning algorithm that is running behind the scenes, and that is learning from the document that it scans. So what the users do, they just take their mobile phone and they take a picture of their document. Based on the picture, all the details of the Emirates ID, the driving license, the mulkia are captured, and these information are automatically populated and proposed to the user for validation. We have an accuracy rate of around 97 or 98% in English and Arabic. So this is a very important movement where we can automate the capture and the classification of customer input. We can increase data accuracy from the capture, and we can improve customer experience as well, because it's seamless. It's one click and we go. This is related as well to what previous presenter were describing, garbage in, garbage out. So if you clean it from the beginning, you can have strong and accurate data in your system that you can reuse throughout the process. All of these streams align with the strategy to use data as an asset are part of what we call the data culture enablement. What is data culture? It's a set of behaviors, it's a set of attitudes that all employees, all AXA Gulf and GIG employees must adopt in order to derive the best value from the data. This is aligned with our global strategy to become a technology and data-driven company. The idea is to make sure that everyone is empowered to collaborate better and to derive the maximum value on the data, from the data. This data culture have been implemented in AXA as a manifesto with 5 main streams. Each of the streams is defined, and the action steps for each streams are derived in order to make sure that it's practical for every user. For example, we need to make sure that we seek facts with data and not only looking for assumptions or interpretations of thought. We need to make sure that we use data appropriately, meaning that we don't share data anywhere and anyhow. It's already secured. The accesses to the data are managed via role-based access control and other elements. We have to take care of data, data cleanliness, data accuracy, etc. So we have a certain number of criteria that we use as a manifesto, and each of the employees, from IT to HR to the business to the finance, there is one area where they can support in improving and bringing this data culture in the company. Another aspect of the data is related to accelerating the usage, the transformation of the data. And for that, we decided to use cloud capabilities, where we moved some selected data. And the direction from the management is that the move to cloud is not a technology initiative. We are not beginning with technology. We're not doing this just because we like coding or we like the cloud. It's a business-driven journey led by business initiatives and business requirements. And one of these initiatives were to make sure that we have a certain number of capabilities based on selected data available on the cloud in order to speed up all the processes that we have when it comes to managing data. That's why we've built a platform hosted in the GCC due to the regulatory reasons, hosted everything in the GCC, providing capabilities for data submission, data ingestion. So we have all the processing layers from the source system to the analytics platform, data set management, where we have the data modelization, we have all the traceability, the lineage, and the information governance. We have also the transformation and analysis, where everything is properly managed to make sure that we have a seamless, timely transformation and management of our data. And based on all these capabilities that have been set, we are able to have accurate and good data that we can use for building some machine learning algorithms and tools to search, to publish, and to visualize the data. For example, we are able today to manage fraud, to manage churn rate for our clients, and we have built a number of use cases like that on the cloud based on the data and the quality of the data we are having. Of course, there are multiple environments. All the data are not available. They are secured. And when it comes to security, this is where we have the strength of our friends from information security who are here to help us. You know that the region is more and more sensitive to the business, to the hackers, and to the different threat, the different cybersecurity threat. And on the same area, we have a strong ambition, that is to bring simplicity to business. We don't need to completely forbid the business to access the data, but on the same time, we need to provide data with compliance and security to all business users. So the idea is to enable a company-wide data processing to simplify customer journeys, leveraging on machine learning and all the other types of algorithm. I don't go into the technical details because the audience might not be very familiar with all the technical terms. And we also have to leverage on serverless technology and all the elements for data anonymization. What we have done in this regard is to implement a certain number of security and compliance measures and action. For example, we have managed to put in place a segregation on the information access role. So everyone do not have access to everything across the company. You have some specific users who have access to a large set of data, large capabilities. They are accountable for the platform stability, reliability, and everything is monitored and controlled timely. All the deviations creates alerting mechanisms, and for some of the alerts, you need a manual intervention to move forward in the steps. We also have the data contributors who are responsible for bringing and developing new assets, and we have the viewers. The viewers are usually business stakeholders who just need to have access to some insights, some KPIs, some anonymized data that will help them to move forward and to deliver on their business value. We also decided to create some encrypted data set. So a selected set of data moves to the cloud, but all of this data moving to the cloud is not available to everyone. Only few people have access, and usually 95% of the people have access to anonymized or masked data. There are multiple approaches to anonymization that we have implemented, that we have used. And finally, we also have implemented data encryption. The minimum algorithm that we are using relies on 256 AES encryption keys. We also use for data that are on premise. We use key management store to make sure that you have a dynamic encryption and decryption of the data, and an encryption of the data, sorry. All the data in transit are secured using SSL with rotation keys, and we have a number of checks for data integrity during data ingestion, during data transit on the platform. All of this is properly governed. The data archived. We have a number of auditing mechanisms, and we are able with all these scenarios to provide added value to the business. So in a nutshell, what I did with this presentation was to accelerate a little bit, have a short presentation so that we can focus on the questions. In a nutshell, first, have a proper strategy. It's very important to have the strategy and to work on the strategy. Second, have some use cases. The use cases can be very simple, they can be very practical, or they can be as complex as using different algorithms on the cloud. Very important, make sure that the data at capture, the data input is very accurate and very strong so that we can move all this data to the next layers of the organization. And finally, make sure that we are aligned with the information security requirements, that we are compliant with the regulatory requirements, and that we are we keep providing data to our business users so that they can use it for their own benefits. Thank you very much for your attention. If you have any question, now we have some time to discuss and address them.
We are here. Hugues, thank you so much for the presentation. Thanks a lot. So just waiting for the questions.
While waiting for the question, I can give one more information regarding the data quality and the data assessment. Yes. I saw previous presentation talking about data quality and data assessment. What we have done actually is to provide a number of metrics that will allow us to measure the data quality and the data maturity. For example, we have set up a number of metrics on the quality of the data. For example, do we have the customer name and surname? Do we have the date of birth accurate? Do we have the phone number, the mobile number, nationality? So a number of information that are available, a number of information that are measured throughout the business. For each of the policies, do we have accurate information for these policies? And based on that, we have provided all the measurements, and we are monitoring these measurements year after year. For example, the first year when we started this metrics and this analysis, it was quite surprising to see, and very good as well to acknowledge the poor quality of some of the data. And year after year, with the support of the CDO and the support of all the stakeholders, we have been able to improve on the quality of the data and to provide more and more data to our business users. So this is why I was talking about the data accuracy from capture. It all begins when we key the data in our systems, and it's a very, very important place where we need to improve, all of us, when it comes to data management and data analytics and insight.
Thanks a lot for sharing this last point. Can you stop the screen sharing, please, so that we can see each other all? Okay,
yes, of
perfect.
course.
Thank you so much. Now I gave co-host, not co-host option. I gave the microphone and camera to all participants. So I would like to spend some 5-10 minutes on Q&A on this topic or whatever topic they wish to raise questions, the participants. So I would like to see who is going to be our hero challenger to come up with questions. Otherwise, I push.
Hello, good afternoon. Jose here. Hugues, I have just one quick question. Sorry. I wanted to know if this solution that you mentioned, was it, I don't know if you mentioned was this internally developed, or did you have any outside partner, someone who helped the team there? How was that initial process?
Actually, we believe that, we are an insurance company. We are not a technology or data company. We're an insurance company, and we are very aware of that. However, there are some parts of the business where we really need people knowing the business to be able to act on it. We really need people who have the full knowledge to be there and to work. So what we have done is that we have created some accelerators. So we partnered with one company on the data side who came here and who accelerates the delivery of the projects. But most importantly, we invested in internal people capabilities. So we upskilled our teams. Investing in training and certifications for everyone, whether it's training and certification on the cloud or on data topics. We invested in internal trainings amongst the teams because some of the team members have knowledge and others not. We invested in knowledge sharing and knowledge transfer. We opened ourselves to a culture of failure, so people can go and try something and fail. It's okay. It's okay mainly to fail fast. That's very important. And on one side, we have the accelerator, people who come to help us. On the other side, we upskill our team members. And this was a blend that actually created lots of value. And today, our internal teams are autonomous to derive multiple values from the data.
That's amazing, an amazing approach. That part of training your local people is essential because, we can't assume that everyone will be technically savvy on it. Although they know about the business, they will not be as technically savvy on the data side. That's amazing. And on the failing fast, it's also a great approach. Now in our company, we're we're just starting with an award for that in 3 categories. One of them will be the failure. What was the best failure? So definitely very good approach.
Congratulations, and I'm sure that with such mindset, I mean, when people feel confident about the management, usually we are in production, we have our data, and when you mess up, you're in big trouble. Okay, so people are very scared to start anything or to do anything. But here we have clearly mentioned to them: start small, fail fast, learn. It's very important. Okay, don't fail every time. Fail and learn. And then based on the lesson learned, we can move forward.
Absolutely. Many thanks. That's great. Great to
nice
hear.
point, not to fail all the time. Absolutely.
Yes.
To be very successful then. Okay, so thank you for pointing out this part. So now, guys, thank you so much for being our hero of this session, for raising the question and getting involved. Thanks. Let's see who else we can push into the questions now. I see from participant Zahid from Totally Down.
Hi, this is Pradeep here. So that we don't have to look for participants and challenges, I think I have a question which I'd like to ask Dr. Kamp, if I may. Hi, Dr. Kamp. Very interesting presentation overall. Thanks so much for sharing the insights. I'm also in insurance myself for Dubai Islamic. So obviously there's so much more we can learn. I can learn from you, in fact, right? My question to you, and also because I do not know your tenure in AXA, but were you a part of the team which kind of, I mean, was AXA always, for example, at the forefront of digital transformation? Or
Pradeep, can you move away the microphone a little bit away so that we can hear the voice? It's echoing, or we cannot hear clearly.
Is it better now? Okay.
It's far better, Pradeep. It's far better. Thank you.
Okay. So my question is, and I'll speak a bit slowly as well. Do you think AXA was always at the forefront of digitization, digital transformation, or did you have to play catch up? And were you part of the team? And what challenges did you see? Thank you.
That's a great question. AXA have not always been at the forefront. We need to be practical as well. But one good point is that every year AXA Global Management goes to the Silicon Valley and discuss with startups and discuss with big companies, Microsoft, Apple, Google, etc., and comes with idea. And in 2018, they came with the conviction that we need to really invest in technology and data. And it came from the top as a mandate for all the the teams, to invest in technology and data. I'm part of the technology team. I'm leading the technology team in the Gulf region. So I was requested to derive a strategy on how our company could provide, and become a technology and data-driven company. And this is when we decided to change a little bit our approach in our investments and to focus more on tangible outcomes and business innovation. That's what I was showing. Why I was showing you the different aspects of innovation. And today, I can say with certainty that when it comes to insurance and technology-wise, I'm looking at what's happening in the market. I can say that we are quite advanced. We have delivered a number of assets, whether it's on data, whether it's on our core platforms, whether it's on our portals for our brokers, for internal users. We have delivered quite a number of assets. Now we just delivered a number of assets on APIs to integrate and to create a kind of open insurance. So we are really going fast. We have a strong support from our management to lead the technology front, because the management strongly believe that technology is what will help us create and attract business innovation. One of our strategies is to partner with startups in the local market and to spin up and accelerate on every area of business innovation. So I cannot say if we are the first one, but I can say that with certainty we are leading the crowd. We are far ahead. Yes. Thank you, Pradeep. What do you think? What's happening on Dubai Islamic Insurance? What do you think? Where do you stand today?
Okay. Without really sharing too much, I think we're just at the beginning of our journey. We're still exploring all the data sets that we have. We're trying to put certain fundamental tools in place. It's a long journey for us, of course, but hopefully we'll be able to stay in touch, and I can probably pick up a few tips and tricks from you along the way.
Don't hesitate. Don't hesitate. Thank you very much, Pradeep.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for getting engaged. And this is the value when you get engaged here. The meeting is done for you. So I'll be happy to hear some more questions from the participants who are new this afternoon, especially now. Vebhav Sharma, Surendra, Sezgin, Sayantan, Rashid Basher.
While waiting for the questions, I will share as well an observation that I have in the region following the question of Pradeep. Few years back here in the GCC region, especially when it comes to UAE, Bahrain, Oman, Qatar, and all the GCC countries, people were more focused on concrete jobs and finance jobs. So it was oil, construction, manufacturing, supply chain, and money. And more, the financial industry and the financial systems are opening themselves with a strong push from the government. If you live in Dubai, you know that there is the Smart Dubai initiative. If you live in Bahrain, there is the Bahrain FinHub. So there is a number of initiatives in Bahrain as well. They have this sandbox provided by the regulators for all the fintechs and the startups to try and create different initiatives. This is a very strong push from the government. When I joined here, I created a Dubai Tech Talk community in order to meet with friends and start gathering information so that we can create a hub here. But clearly, the region is booming when it comes to data analytics, when it comes to insight, and when it comes to innovation. It's the perfect place to be today in order to accelerate. And I'm very proud as well to be part of AXA Golf, GIG Golf. That's a company encouraging such innovation and providing the means and the trainings for the team members, to move forward. Don't hesitate to talk to your management and to tell them that, guys, we need to invest. It's going very fast, and companies who do not invest will not exist in a few years from now.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for sharing this information. So any other questions? It seems there is no question.
I don't have a question, Naseem, but just like to add, thank you, Dr. Kampe, because I totally appreciate a big picture perspective and the ancillary information that you've shared, because it's obviously important, right, for us to understand where the whole industry is going. So thanks for sharing the big picture perspective that you have with the rest of us. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.